Hi, welcome back to BizJet TV. It's Fab Poli here today, and today we're going to be sharing some BizJet news. New type of episode here. We're going to be doing this once a week, talking about what's happening in aviation and cover you with the news, and I'll give my take on what's happening. So the first piece of item today is from Gulfstream. Gulfstream delivered their first G600, a great private jet with its 6,500 mile range, carrying 19 passengers at Mach 0.925, which is 0.92%, well, 92% of the speed of sound. It's great. Paris to LA direct, Paris to Hong Kong direct. So great range there. If you haven't watched the video about the G500 and the G600, just click on the link above and that will take you to my video, which I recorded a few weeks ago, and you can find out all about this aeroplane. Second piece of news is more about the Hondajet. Yes, I have been talking about the Hondajet recently, and you probably know it's one of my favorites. Well, Honda have delivered the first two aircraft to a company in Hawaii called Wing Spirit. Wing Spirit have ordered 15 aircraft. What they are going to be doing with the Hondajet is flying VIP passengers from island to island all across the Hawaiian Islands. So if you happen to be in Hawaii and you need a private jet to fly from Maui to Honolulu or vice versa, or to one of the other islands, you can ring up these guys at Wing Spirit. I'm sure they'll do a cracking job for you in flying you in the Hondajet. If you haven't seen any of the videos on the Hondajet, you can click on the link above and you'll find out more about this aircraft. So great news there for Honda and for Wing Spirit, which has launched their new company. Number 3 today is about the Xti Trifon 600, which is a vertical takeoff and landing aircraft in the experimental phase at the moment. They've been flying a prototype 65% scale model. They've done around about 20 tethered flights at the moment. They've just finalized a deal with GE Aviation for their catalyst engine. This is what they're going to be using on the final prototype, which have already started to build, and will start flight testing next year. They're aiming at launching this aircraft completely tested and ready to roll and be delivered to first customers in 2023. So it's really round the corner. This is a particular aircraft because it carries 6 passengers over 1,200 nautical miles at 300 knots. And because it's vertical takeoff and landing, it's very interesting. It's also a hybrid aircraft, so partly electric, partly conventional fuel. But, we'll be covering the developments of this aircraft in the next few episodes because I think it's an interesting one to watch. The ability to land and take off and go at that kind of speed over 1,200 miles is definitely going to be a plus for business travelers. Next is a piece of bad news, a crash of another private jet, Cessna Citation XL. Fortunately, in this crash, just the aircraft was damaged. It's a write-off, actually, but the 11 people that were on board all managed to walk away without even a scratch, which was good. They had some famous people on board. They were flying pop star Pink, not her, but her people that work for her. They were on board that aircraft. It crashed at Aarhus in Denmark after a flight from Oslo in Norway. The cause of the crash, not quite sure yet, but it was very foggy, visibility of 650 meters at the time, and they said that the crew had been on the end of a 14-hour day. So could pilot fatigue have played a role in that? There is some news reported saying that the AAIB, which is the Aircraft Investigators branch from Denmark, actually reported that the aircraft clipped a radio mast as it was coming down on the approach. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. This is what a news channel reported, saying that the AAIB declared this. But 2 factors that we do know is it was foggy and the crew were on the end of a very, very long day. So pilot fatigue could be playing a role in this accident. And talking about pilot fatigue, another piece of bad news, personal news for me. A good friend of mine, pilot, captain on the 777, passed away just last week. And I'm mentioning this because he was young. He was 51 years old. He'd been flying 777s. Before that, he was flying BBJs for a royal family in the Middle East. But this 777 flying he'd been doing for almost 9 to 10 years. Now, a lot of polar routes and things like that. He was complaining about, radiation and that. He died of brain cancer, and this is happening to a lot of pilots at the moment. Also heart attack, and a lot of the reasons that this is happening is due to pilot fatigue. So pilot fatigue again, taking out another great aviator, unfortunately. This is something that needs to be addressed. This is why I teamed up with my wife, who's a natural health therapist, and wrote this book, Health for Flyers. And I'm not talking about this to advertise the book, but in this book we address these issues, and we also talk about systems that you can put in place to prevent certain things from happening, how to protect yourself from radiation, and how to sort of deal with jet lag and things like that. So Health for Flyers is available on Amazon. If you want to check it out, you'll see the link just down below on this. So pilot fatigue, unfortunately, is claiming lives and causing accidents. So until we have robots in the cockpit, we have to deal with this. If you are a private jet owner or you're looking at buying a private jet, be careful when you hire your pilots. Make sure that you hire enough pilots. Don't work these guys like crazy. They're not Supermen. I know they do fly, and sometimes people see pilots as Supermen, but we're not Supermen. We're human. We do need our 8 hours sleep like you do, and we do need our meals and working out and taking our supplements and all that kind of thing. And actually, we do need to watch our health more than the people sitting on the ground, because of the environment that we're exposing ourselves into more than anything else. So that's important there on the subject of pilot fatigue, and that we'll be talking about health for pilots and for frequent flyers and that in a few episodes in the next few weeks as well. Other piece of news from WingX, been talking about the charter market. In Europe in July 2019, there's actually been a decrease in flights by 1.8%. And when we look at the market in Germany and also in the UK, the decrease in flights has been 6%. But when we look at the heavy jet market, there's actually been an increase of 6.6% flights. So a bit up and down. Why Germany and the UK are down? Could it be due to Brexit? We don't know. But that's a piece of data I just wanted to report based off of actual flights. And the last but not least, more news on Elon Musk and what he's up to with SpaceX. Now you're thinking to yourself, what's space to do with business jets? Well, I think it is. I think space is the next frontier. He's now declaring that he wants to land man on Mars by 2024, which is only less than 5 years away. Now, obviously, space is going to bring a lot of business opportunities, between mining asteroids to mining the moon, going to Mars, back and forth, putting a colony on there. New businesses are going to be developed as a result of space travel, and probably some people will buy their own space rocket. So that's all from me now on BizJet News, part of BizJet TV from Fab Poli here. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, I encourage you to subscribe, like this video, comment below, and I'll see you on the next one.